Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. Today we are back in the studio and Peter is going to do a quick run through using a flashlight and constant light, comparing the two and showing you the pros and cons and his thoughts about when you would use each of them and the difference between the two of them.
So I've done the setup. I've got a Zhiyun 500 watt constant and I'm running it at full power because I want to do that comparison between flash and the constant, and even though we're an overcast day, we are getting a little bit of variation with the natural light, so it's varying a little bit, which is going to change the ambient light on this picture more than what it would if I was shooting with flash. Although I'm going to set up on the same settings. So at the moment, I've got this set at 6.3 at 400 ISO at 160th of a second. So I'm going to try and set the exact same things up when I'm using flash. So the first thing I do know that's going to change as the light comes up and down, it is going to change my ambient light on both, but it's going to be more noticeable, I think, with the constant. We'll see in a minute. With my setups, I've got this still running dead flat. I've played around a little bit with the lights. I've just got a bounce light, just kicking a bit of fill back in. We're using Charlize's picture just as a reference. So with this, if I'm just going to finalize this, because we haven't actually taken a proper picture yet, we've just been setting up. So I want to try and nail a really cool picture, and then I'll sort of talk about my experience for shooting as well as the end image. So I'm just going to work with Anna now. Cool, it's really pretty, that's really pretty. I haven't shot with Anna for nearly 3 months now, so cool, that's really pretty. Bring it in your eyes. More eyes, that's better. Cool, that's really pretty. That's really pretty. Cool, cool, I love that, that's really pretty. Cool. Cool. That's really cool. Beautiful, I like that, I really like that. Cool, pretty. Cool. Beautiful and soft, that's really pretty. So I want this beautiful softness to it. So classy woman, but it's still attractive and soft. It's not super powerful, I'm gonna kill you or anything. That's really pretty, that's really nice. Cool. Yeah, so they're right on the edge of overexposing. I've got everything dead flat at the moment. If I was going to do anything, I could do two things. I could do a sort of thing I call a little bit of a fashion S, which is just lock in the highlights and the shadows so they don't change and bring up the mids a little bit. And then I could just maybe pull a tiny bit more contrast by bringing the black point in. If I move the shadow fill in a little bit more, I can bring the contrast up a touch more. And that's coming up really nice. The only other thing, because I brought the contrast up, it has saturated the image a bit more. So I could just desat the image off a little bit, which is going to bring the coloring back to where I'd want it. And it's just a matter of me playing around, and I'll do most of this in post on this shoot. And so I quite like that picture, I might just save that. But I think I've definitely got a representation of working. It was very easy for me to work because I can see the finished shot with my eyes, the sort of the lighting, my shadows, all of that, I'm seeing it as I'm shooting. So what I'm going to do now is change this to flash. That worked, let's see if this worked. Cool. Bang, so way over. So the first thing to do is turn the pack down. And I'm just going to keep going down until I get my exposure, which is right on the edge of, my overexposure warning. Right, I think, yeah, so that's got me about the same exposure. Right, so one of the bonuses with flash, I had this light running at full power before, which meant the ambient light was always going to be there regardless. And just so you can see, if I take the flash off, this is the ambient light that we've got with both, if I'm using the flash or if I'm using constant. The difference is if that ambient light is too much for me, with the flash, I can change my ISO down to 100 and turn the power up to kill all the ambient light. I can't do that with the constant lights because as soon as I have that much power continuously on, the models can't see, it's just too bright for them. Which means the ambient light going up and down a bit will have more of an effect, but the difference is I can't see before I take a picture what the lighting looks like. I need to take the picture to see my lighting. So it's just right on the edge of over, so I might just turn this down. So our other problem is I've got this pack turned down to 2.5. Now this pack is, when I bought that in Australia, it was 18,000 Australian dollars without lights, because most of the other lights don't turn down that much. A lot of lights only turn down to 5 or 4.5. There's very few lights that'll turn down to 0.1. So I'm comparing something with 18,000 to maybe, I think the other light, the constant light, was about 1,000. So there's a massive difference in the price of the light. But if you don't have a expensive flash you can turn down super low, you're going to then have to then fill in the background if you want to have that natural light come into your shot. So I'm just going to double check everything's sitting there the same. From here, I'm going to get all the exact same results. The only difference is I can't see the effect on Anna's face as I was before. So if Anna turned her head a little bit, I could see the shadows were nice, and I'd take the picture as I saw the way the shadows were sitting. Now, I could turn on the modeling light, but I find even with that modeling light on, it's really done very little to what I can see with my eyes. So there's a fors and against on both of them. If I had a dark studio, if I didn't have natural light studio, I'd be much happier with constant light all the time. But with my light studio, we've just had sun come up. This will have now changed my background regardless of what light I would have been using, because I'm using it so low powered. I'm just going to flash off a couple. You'll see that even Anna's knee has just gone off with that last picture. So we're right on the edge of overexposing. And I'm just going to come in and, cool, it's really pretty. Cool. That's really pretty. Stunning, stunning, stunning. Cool. Cool. Beautiful. So my sum up is if you've got a full daylight type studio, you might find constant light a bit annoying during the day. At night time it won't be any problem at all. If you've got a nice dark studio, you'll most likely find that using a constant light will be easier if you set up your lighting. You can bring your reflectors, all of that in. You're going to see the effect straight away. You can fine tune, and just using the overexposure warning on your camera, you can see it without taking a picture. So you can build up your whole look before you take a picture. But if you are in a situation where you need to outdo the sun and that type of thing, then they're going to be much better off with flashlight, or if you're going to have movement. So if I'm going to have fast movement, there's no way known I'm going to be able to pull enough power out of a continuous light, a constant light. I can just bring this back to 100 ISO, punch the light up, bring it my settings up to 250 of a second, let the flash freeze the actual picture, whereas I can't do that with constant light.
So we hope you guys enjoyed that. If you did, I will throw up some other tutorials we have using constant and LED lights on the screen now.